Welcome to Hoopers United, where we chill and talk about basketball. My name is David, and this is
Silas.
all right, Silas. Been a while. Been busy. I've been busy. Um, so yeah, I we're gonna go back. Start with the what was it? The Grizzlies and the Lakers. I did not see Lakers winning, going to the West Conference Finals. Just what do you think? How would you recall it?
Uh,
Like how do you felt about it?
I mean, if we're going back from the beginning of the season, I'm completely surprised. With the second half of the season, they're a whole new team. They've been playing pretty well, so I think they have a chance to make it out of the West. It's just gonna be tough.
All right. And then last one was trying to recall. Uh yeah, Denver versus oh my gosh. The Suns, yeah. Um did you see that?
Easy
Was it
money.
easy? Did
Devin
you
Devin Booker's a fraud.
Yes. Well, not a fraud, but I didn't think he was what people thought he was out to be. I know
James
he
Harden
had his
syndrome.
I know he had his nice little showing, but yeah, nah.
James Harden syndrome.
Uh Another question attached to that one is, well, how do you feel about Kevin Durant and his performance? Is he top five player in your eyes anymore? Like the way he's
Uh,
been performing
he hasn't been a top five player in my eyes for a minute
for a minute, really?
since like after last season. He came out of my top five.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, just very disappointing.
Do you think he's aged, or the
Yeah,
injury, or that
I
injury
don't think I don't
slowed
think
him
the
down?
injury. No, I think he's just getting older. And at the end of the day, he played 8 games with them. They got
Yeah,
no chemistry. Same thing like with the Nets. When they play together, they're good, but when they gonna play together,
right. That makes sense. Yep.
like they didn't have any time to build any chemistry. So I don't blame them for not winning this year. But at the same time, it's like they have all the talent. They don't
Mm,
have the bench though.
Now, do you believe since they didn't gel well together, do you put some blame on Monty? And do you agree with the firing?
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't think Monty Williams should have been fired.
Really? Do you think it's something else then? Do you think it's like Kevin
I
Durant
think.
saying something, because he has the power?
Oh, why Monty Williams got fired?
Yeah.
I honestly can't put it together why they fired him, but I guess they feel like they reached their max potential with him.
They did lose, what was it, last season too, right? It wasn't,
Yeah,
it just didn't, he dropped a 30, another 30 game they dropped. 30-point game they
yeah, they
dropped
lost
going
in
into.
and then they what's my call? They lost in the finals too. And was that 21?
Yeah, I mean, cause you know how it is. The playoffs, you're under a bigger magnifying glass for not
Mm-hmm.
just the fans, for the business too, the suits, the office. So they saw that those two breakdowns. It's like, really, because that's more. You could say Monty Williams is doing well in the regular playoffs, right? But then like Doc Rivers, right?
Yeah.
Can he get it done in the playoffs? You know what I mean? So and we'll come back down. We'll come back around to Doc Rivers in a moment. But yeah, Monty Williams. We'll see. We will see. So next is Celtics Sixers. I wanted Sixers to win. You already know because I just want to see you get mad. But also,
But, but
I
you know
thought
it's
it
not
was
gonna
Embiid.
happen.
I thought also Embiid would put on a good show. I knew Harden would because you know 10 plus years we've been watching him, right? I think ish, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So we know who
He's
he
never missed a
is.
playoff.
So um, yeah, I didn't even need to ask you that question. You already knew Celtics was gonna win as a fan. Um, how do you feel about? I know Embiid blamed himself during that interview, but he also said that we need help, which it's
Uh, I was
contradictive.
so angry
Yeah, it's contradictive big time.
that he had the audacity to say him and James Harden need help when Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris had better games than them.
Yes,
They,
the
they
MVP.
played terrible. And you're talking about you need help?
Al Horford, you know, played well against Embiid.
Yeah,
That's
he
kind of
owns him.
crazy.
He owns him.
Um, Now I already know that you agree. You agree with the Doc Rivers letting go, and I
Yep.
agree too because I think he. I don't ever want to see somebody lose a job, right? But if they're not capable of doing something, there's always somebody better. It's just that's how it is, just like in the real world. And
Yeah.
I would have let him go too. It's just he's just been riding. Every time people say he's a good coach, right? And I'm like,
Yep.
I get it. He gets his wins, but that one championship, pretty much. Come on, we gotta judge him, as is. I know we want all. A lot of people want to be respectful, but come on, he gotta be real sometimes. He needs work.
He hasn't had a team go to the finals since 2010.
I, he
And
almost
I don't believe he's made it. I don't believe he's made it conference finals since then. Since like 2012,
he was coaching.
right?
He was coaching.
He was coaching those Lob City teams, underperforming every year.
Right.
He comes to the Sixers. He goes to the Clippers. He got Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, underperforms. Goes to the Sixers, underperform. It's like you got to win, bro.
There
And it's
was.
just
It's kind of hard because I don't want to put all the blame on him, obviously, and his track record. It's just I'm looking at his track record. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at players like Harden. Obviously, recently he just denied
mhm.
his player option, and he wants to, go for the full whatever. You know what I mean? The max money. And I still, at the same time, me. I don't think Harden's that impressive. I never thought. I respect his game, and I know you've heard me. Like, I don't look at him like that, like because I saw it a long time ago. I'm like, yeah, he's not that good. Because I feel like, because I heard, didn't they? There were some rumors coming about that Harden did not gel well with Doc Rivers. I heard something like that. I don't know if you heard
I don't know, but I did
B-
see that they
because
asked him about their relationship, and he was just like, "It's okay," and
right,
that's all he said.
because that might be true. You know what? That might be true because you know how it is nowadays. Superstars get they get leeway. They can't get yelled at. It's like they're kind of like divas. Well, they are divas,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I feel like this. As much as I feel like it was his fault, I still feel like he was held back. You know what I mean? By a superstar like Harden, because Doc Rivers, he's kind of old school. You know what I mean? More like he wants the players to, even the superstars to get yelled at, or reprimanded. You know what I mean? And I feel like Harden is not that type of player.
I just feel like Doc has pretty much reached his pinnacle, and it's time he got to restart the cycle. He got to go back with a young team, build them up if he's going to stay in the NBA.
He said it already. He's gonna still
Oh
coach.
no!
He
You said
said it.
quit?
No, he said he's gonna still coach. He's not gonna retire.
Okay.
He recently came out with that, but yeah. I hope he lands on his feet, and yeah, Sixers got to learn a lesson. I don't think personally they should give him max money or whatever, for James Harden. James Harden is just not it. He's not that guy. He is just not that guy. Because MB doesn't he call out his teammates stuff? He's more. Does he?
Who, Harden?
Nah, Embiid.
What,
Does
call out his teammates?
Yeah, yeah. You know how I mean, like push him, like as a leader.
Well,
Like he'll say what's
he
up.
needs to call himself out because he had
Yeah,
an awful game.
but at the same time, I feel like he should call out Harden. He should have. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah. Do you think people should pay a lot of money for Harden? In your opinion,
Uh,
or
I mean,
he's
he's still
or
All Star caliber player. I don't really know what his value is though.
hold on, you don't know what his value is?
Yeah,
How long you been watching him?
no, like I don't understand. I'm
Oh,
trying to
you're
think of
talking
like
about the amount. You're
what a
talking
fair deal would be.
right. Okay, yeah. But would you pay
I
a
don't
lot?
really know.
Would you pay a lot?
It depends where my team is. Depends what team I am. I think it all depends. I saw they're saying James Harden to Houston. I mean, I'm sorry, to Houston and Phoenix as well.
That's rumors. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
real, but I don't think he should go to Phoenix. I don't. I just don't. I personally don't like Harden. I don't see his game. I know people say, "Oh, he's still the," but I, you know me. I see Ginobili as a better player than Harden.
Yeah, you're just delusional, but
I am you might maybe I'm delusional, but he has more chips and he sacrificed more of his game.
yes, but we're talking about the Spurs.
But we're talking about what do you people play in the NBA for what? What do you want to be remembered for? Winning championships. I told you I feel
Making money and having
nah.
sneakers
See, I don't can. I hate that. I hate that. I
and
just
throwing money in the strip club. That's what James Harden wants to be known for.
I told
Getting
you that. Remember,
buckets.
I told you that a while ago. I feel like he just wants money. He doesn't care about championships. At the end of the day, he just wants money. He acts like he knows what. It's kind of it's like when he brought out that press conference, or he says during that press conference or interview, whatever, when he said
Hmm.
y'all say I'm old or something like that. He's not as good as before because he's not scoring as much. But then you guys say he's a ball hog or whatever. He takes too many three or whatever he said
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when he's passing. But it's almost like he tried to play the media and how people see him. You know what I'm saying? Talking wise. But then when he's playing on the court, especially during the playoffs, it, you know what I mean? It's like we caught a deer in the headlights, you
It's
know?
well, it's well. Game one, you had 45, and game seven, you had 10 points, and you went
What happened?
two for 15.
What's
Like,
wrong with him? You think he's old? You think he's
oh,
not?
I bet. Yeah, he's definitely old.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So,
What is James Harden's what, 30, 33, 30, 34 years old?
somewhere around that, I'll search it up.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a first step anymore. Remember when his tween used to get everybody?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
33.
And,
Yeah, but that's also different. I don't know if the rule change or fouls or.
and, and, and he's gonna be turning 34 to start the season. Yeah, he got 2 more years.
But he's always been sus in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
anyways, let's move on. He obviously beat the Knicks. You chose the Knicks. I chose the Heat. So, yeah.
Hmm.
I gotta say this. I like Jalen Brunson even more. He
Yes,
proved
yes,
himself.
yes.
He he had to prove himself. Remember I told you it's harder to lead. Man, he was the heart. And James Randall, yeah,
He's trash.
I I don't know what's going on with that guy.
Yeah, they got to trade him.
It's like they need him on the floor, right? They need him, but when he's on the floor, he hurts them at the same time. It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly,
It's the
exactly.
weirdest thing.
Because he
I,
can be really good sometimes.
that's what I'm saying. He can be a he can hurt his team. Detrimental. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Well, do you think the team should just this is just an experience run because wasn't Brunson mid-season of last year or in the like or that was last year season? When
He
did he
signed
get?
this offseason.
Okay, yeah. So this is like the first go around, first go ahead.
Yeah.
So I think maybe more, just keep playing together, right? I like the coach, the
No, I don't
Thibodeau.
like the coach
Thibodeau.
either.
You don't like
I don't
Thibodeau,
like the coach either. Nah,
but
he got to go.
but he his coaching helped the play and the team make the playoffs. That's impressive.
No, I think he's a good coach. He can get your team to the playoffs, but I just don't think he's. I, I mean, I never thought he was that great of a coach. He's a
Oh no,
good coach.
he's a good coach, but I'm saying like he has to work with.
Give, give. Let Doc Rivers coach the Knicks. There we go. Sounds good to me.
Um, I don't know about that, but okay, sure, let
Thibodeau's
it
a
go.
terrible offensive coach. Thibodeau's a good defensive coach, but offensively his sets kind of
He's
suck.
working with Randall, and Randall that's his skills that he's putting on the floor. So, but yeah, he Jimmy Butler still balling, getting his teammates
As he
involved
does.
as he does. He's one of my favorite players. Yeah. So going to the Western Conference Finals. Who you choosing to come out? I mean, not the West Conference, Eastern Conference Finals. Who you having come out the East? I shouldn't even ask you
Boston
that.
in six.
You want Celtics? See, that was a dumb question. No, but
Well,
I got the Heat.
I want and think the Celtics win in six.
I want the Heat to win. I want Jimmy buckets to go off. You think Tatum's gonna guard him, player to player, or they're gonna put Smart on him or Brown? That's
I think they're
I
gonna
don't know.
throw. I think they're gonna throw the whole team on him, and they're gonna choke because nobody else could do anything.
Okay, okay. And you think Al Horford's gonna go off on Bam?
Strap and Bam.
Al
Him
Horford.
and Williams putting Bam on lock. They're not doing. Bam's not doing anything.
All right, we'll see. Tonight's the first game. I'm very excited. Yeah, this should be a fun game. You think it's gonna be high scoring?
Well, no.
Really?
What do you consider high scoring? I'm saying under 110.
Okay. Yeah. Well, look what happened. Denver and Lakers. What is it? 120 something to 130 something.
Yeah, that was pretty
They
high
were one.
scoring.
That was pretty high scoring. So
But game seven of the Philly Boston series, it wasn't a high scoring game. Tatum had 51.
yeah, it went off. Thank you for reminding me that. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
somebody somebody had to know.
it's gonna be fun. And I definitely am gonna enjoy it once if they lose a match and you're gonna be pissed about it, definitely gonna enjoy it. um,
But I'll
we
tell you what, that's gonna happen less than I'm excited about it.
yeah. Uh, going back to the West, yeah, the Lakers, they dropped one. Joker went off, but I'm more.
Did you
I
did
I'm
you
a
see the end of the game?
no, I did not. I was actually watching the game and then I fell asleep. I got work at 4:30.
Yeah,
I tried to. I
The West
tried
Coast
to
game
stay up.
it's but to me it seemed like LeBron checked out and decided that they were gonna lose this game. Like his body language showed that like this game didn't matter. They could have this one. We'll be back for next game. And it was a close game too. Like they were down double
You're
digits.
lying.
They were down double digits for like 7 minutes, and they cut the game, and they got it real close. I think they got it to like a 3 point game, and LeBron was just trash.
I think he got tired.
Austin Austin Reeves was hitting some big shots. Anthony Davis playing good defense. It was a good game.
Uh, I'm more impressed with how Anthony Davis played. When I was watching, he was being
Yeah,
aggressive. I was like, oh, he's got something to prove. He's got somebody who's better than him on the other side, and he's trying to. Cause didn't you say that? Or I heard that either from you or something that AD plays better when there's another better player against him. Player to player almost.
I don't recall saying that, but that
I
makes
think you said
sense.
that about somebody else. I think you said that about somebody. I think it was Jason Tatum.
Yeah, definitely Jason Tatum. Definitely him.
So that see, I look back at what you said, and I feel like that's what happened with AD.
That's a Davis thing. Okay, I can see it.
But can he? You know what I mean? Keep it going. That's
They need him
another
to.
thing. That's another
They
thing
don't.
to be seen,
They don't have the depth for him to not to, for him to not perform that way.
right? Because Joker was killing. Yo, he's
Yeah, he's amazing.
he's so
I think. I
nice.
think. I think he's the second best player in the NBA. Very close though.
All right. All right. So let's move on to the next. Um. Currently, we're talking about in the playoffs. Who do you see as the best player? Because I know you're gonna. I know you say
Oh,
Joker's
it's
second.
Joker.
I know you're
It's
saying
Joker.
Joker is second on your list because you're talking about just in general. Giannis. I think
Yeah.
Giannis is your number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me right now in the playoffs, I think it's
I think.
Joker, Jimmy,
Yep.
Tatum, AD, and LeBron. I don't know about that AD and LeBron. I think LeBron's over AD, but me
Could
personally,
be.
if I'm thinking about those guys, if I'm thinking about it in that order.
Yeah. You don't have Jalen Brown in there,
uh, we'll see. We'll see. I could change it. He has been playing well too,
and you don't have Jamal Murray either.
man.
I think
And
you got to pay
so
a little bit more attention to him.
yeah. I saw him. I was watching when he made that shot, and then he kind of like he was not set his feet, and he shot, and he made it too. I was watching him like, damn, this guy,
Nah,
he's hitting.
he's good.
He was hitting his shot. Like when I was like Denver was really hitting their shots. I'm like, holy, they're not missing. Basically, they're gonna win
Yeah,
like this. I was watching
Caldwell
it.
Pope was playing really well.
Oh my,
Bruce
yeah,
Brown played really well.
yes. And I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect Jamal Murray and stuff. Um,
But that's why I got the Lakers, or that's why I got the Nuggets in seven. I think they just have a better team.
you know what
I
it
feel
is?
I feel like LeBron can't go like he doesn't look the same right now. He looks like he's playing at like 80%.
I personally, you know what it is? I think with Jamal Murray being the Denver Nuggets are number one team, and I feel like yeah, I know he's good, but I'm still very impressed with how the Lakers with LeBron's playing and AD, which they're a lower seeded team. You know what I mean? Big
Yeah,
time. So I think that's why I put it over like Murray or Brown because they're part of the Celtics. The Celtics are a really good team. It's kind of like,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect them, but yeah, yeah.
Who,
Actually, I want to go ahead.
go ahead.
Now you go.
So if the Lakers win the championship this year,
They're not going to. I don't see it, by
it,
the way.
listen, but listen. If they do, how are we looking at this championship?
I like any other. They're the best team. They did what they had to do. That's how I view it, personally.
But there's never been a team that turned it around the way they have.
Oh, we could say about the Heat. What if the Heat win? The, no team has
Yeah,
ever been
right.
like the Heat.
This is
Yeah, you see,
that's just a joke.
no,
That's just a
no,
joke.
no. See, you're seeing it the way I'm seeing the Lakers.
You
So
know
I could
that's a
actually
joke.
the I could say the same thing. Ask you the same thing about the Heat. But yes, I will be impressed. I will
All
be
right,
impressed.
if the Heat win, I promise you, Donis Haslam will get Finals MVP too.
Yes, I back that up. I wanted to ask you, how do you feel in the current NBA? You've been watching basketball a long time, and a lot of your favorite players were American.
Yes.
While the top,
Well,
for the
were
longest time now,
were they were they
yeah,
were American.
for the longest time has been these international players. How do you feel about that? Like how because they don't play like Americans, where it's, they pretty much hog the ball. They score high points. That's
Mhm.
what's more impressive. They want to be athletic. You want to see dunks. While you
Yeah.
got these international players playing a much different style. How do you feel about that? Does it concern you about American players? And you think other Europeans, I mean, not Europeans, but international players that are going to come over, obviously, the recent, number one pick, do you think he's going to be another player that just dominates and
Yeah.
pushes the Americans back down? You know what I mean? Is this concerning to you as a fan for America?
Nah, I'm not concerned about it. Um, at least as an American, it's like at the end of the day, basketball is a global game, or becoming a global game, and that's what's supposed to happen, right?
Right? But,
So I don't. I think the player pool in America is the largest and will continue to be the largest. But I do think that this is great for the game that these other foreign players are coming over and introducing a different style.
right. I got that part. As a fan, you're going to like it. But I'm saying, do you think, let's say, let me ask you, do you think international players train more than American players?
I think they train differently. I wouldn't say they train more.
Really? You don't think they train more by how they play?
No, I think the way they're brought up and the way they're taught the game is different.
Right,
But
because
I
right
don't think
because
they train any more or less.
they start off much earlier than they play against grown men earlier
Well,
in their career than
they start
teenagers.
off playing with a small hoop with a small ball. Uh, fundamentals, passing the ball, bounce pass, chest pass, stuff like that. Now, nowadays it's like American players, anyways. It's you play high school or whatever, high school, middle school during this winter time, travel ball, whatever. And you play AU in the summer. It's like I feel like it's a lot less skill work being done.
You think that should change?
I think the problem in terms of American basketball right now is the lack of uniform and rules. And I think AAU is kind of more than the game in terms of uh, actual basketball knowledge.
Hold
Because
on.
I played I played AAU growing up. It's like all around for no play, which uh,
Silas.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
skipping.
You can hear me?
Every time you talk, you're skipping. You're making a whole sentence breaking up. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead and say what you're saying. Start over. About
You can hear me?
AAU and it broke up. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I think AAU is kind of watering down uh basketball just because it's so unorganized in terms of the play. It's just run and gun, pick and roll. That's it. Like I feel like what the European game has that we don't is like off ball movement. How do you feel about that?
I agree with you about the fundamentals part. The fundamentals, I personally think that's why I actually had a question if they train more. I believe they train more than Americans because if they're like, you know, I feel like the international players, if they're like high caliber, they could be superstars. They train even harder. You know what I mean? They listen to their you know what I mean? Like they're not divas, basically. You know what I mean? They're not. If a coach reprimands them, they're gonna work harder. They're gonna listen to the whatever this coach has to say. You know what I mean? I feel like here, if they're a star growing up, especially if they're young, they don't really gotta train hard. They just be like, I'm a ball on the court, and I don't gotta train too much. You know what I mean? You know that cockiness,
Yeah,
where
but that goes for everything though. That goes for everything. Same thing happens in soccer, baseball, in America and in other countries. Everyone knows who the best player is. So it's like at the end of the day, it's on them to either be coachable or not, to get a big head and be egotistical or not.
and like I said, I'm only saying that from the players that we know who are right now superstars, and how kind of majority of them are like very humble, very honest.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they have you can tell obviously, and I feel like
yeah, you could tell they genuinely love the game.
right, and that's how I feel like if they say they're gonna train, they are gonna train hard because I'm not. It's not like they grow up from poor countries too. It's not from their slums. They're working hard too. And
Yeah,
obviously it's just different. An American is just totally different. But that's how I feel and how I think. I'm not gonna change that yet. That perception of um, I'm not gonna change that thinking that Americans train harder than international. But that's just how I view it. But yeah,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think it's less. I don't think it's a difference in how they train. I think or the amount they train. I think it's what they train. Like I feel like they just practice more team ball,
yeah. But remember,
and
that's why I said
they grow up playing more unselfish. Like
yeah.
here, it's like what moves can you do one on one?
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like if a kid,
How good are you one
if
on
you
one?
get mad, if a coaches can barely get mad at superstars. Imagine at the ones that are a high prospect. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
can't really reprimand get mad. Like it's like they get in trouble. You know what I mean? For doing their job. To make them better. That's
yeah,
what I
I
mean.
agree.
Just like you said. I'm hopping on what you said. You say, they train more of those basics, the fundamentals, whatever, right? And if they're gonna say that to one of the prospects here, they're gonna like look at you like crazy, or talk to their parent, or you know what I mean, like, and the parents gonna, you know what I mean, like,
No,
oh,
I
he doesn't
agree.
gotta study
But
fundamentals for it. My boy is so good. And I'm like,
no,
nah, see,
I completely agree. But I think it's like that's what separates the guys who get to the top level and don't. Like you can't say LeBron James isn't coachable.
Yeah, but that's one guy. That's LeBron.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
can't say
yeah.
Kobe Bryant's not coachable.
He, he was tough. He was tough.
You, that's fine. You can be tough, but at the end of the day, it's like these guys want to be held accountable. That's what makes them great players, right? They may not like it all the time. They may disagree, but at the end of the day, they need to be coached.
Correct. And I agree. And that's also something I feel like there's more divas in the NBA. It's kind of like how I view it. And I get what you're saying, but I feel like there are more divas of Americans that won't train as much. And obviously we have to judge by how they play, the regular season to over the seasons, what kind of new tools they equipped, how far they get in the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs, did they learn, all just accumulation of stuff, but also how they work with their coach. Nowadays, coaches,
Yeah,
it's hard to be a coach nowadays. You can't
yeah, because you can get
really,
fired so
you
quick.
can't get yell, you can't yell. See, that's why it's kind of hard to. That's why I think like it'll be hard for most players to go with like say Coach Pop. Pop comes from a military background, so he wants people to listen. You know what I mean? He's old school, like you know, but he's still understanding. But some players are not gonna like where he's just very, he's got a structure. You got to practice this, practice that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I feel like somebody like maybe Doc Rivers is kind of like in that pool. Obviously not as good as Pop, but kind of like that old school coaching is what I'm saying. And it's kind of I
nah,
feel like
I,
those
I,
old school
I can feel
guys.
that.
I feel like old school coaches are gonna it's gonna be harder for them. You know what I mean? And but yeah, um, that's why I feel like that's why all those coaches get fired. You know what I mean? But that's just me, cause we had a lot of coaches get fired. As you noticed.
Yeah, Nick Nurse,
Oh,
Mike
actually,
Budenholzer.
that's what I need to ask. Did you agree with Mike Boonhouse?
No,
Not
him.
either.
I didn't agree. I didn't agree with him. I didn't agree with Nick Nurse getting fired, and I didn't agree with Monty Williams getting fired.
Okay, you didn't agree with any of those. Okay, okay.
Only Doc, and that
Gosh,
and that,
he
and,
wa-
that, and
he
that's
helped
and that's
you
saying a lot that's saying a lot because that's my namesake right there.
because yeah, that's because you helped you guys win a ring.
Yeah, but it's like you gotta break some new barriers, bro. It's been 15 years. Let's get something new.
I got you. But yet, oh, I think yeah, this should be the last topic. I don't agree. Seeing around, people are bringing up that Embiid shouldn't have won the MVP still because he lost and the way he performed in the playoffs. I don't agree with that thing. He won that fair and square in the regular season. Stop trying to. I hate that when people say, "Oh, take away the MVP," because you know what I mean. I'm like,
Yeah,
nah. Let him win it, man. That's why they have Finals MVP.
even though he already got a sympathy MVP. So
Who?
Embiid,
No, he didn't. You're one of those
yeah,
believers.
no. But the MVP he got, I'm not saying he's undeserving, but what I'm saying is like they had to give it to him this year.
Why? He worked
First
hard
of
for.
all, there's no way Joker should be a 3-time
What?
MVP,
Oh my gosh.
bro. So are we saying like he's better than Shaq? Like what are we saying?
No,
Like if Joker's a 3 consecutive MVP, that puts him in the conversation of like the greatest basketball players ever. I'm not
no, it
saying he's
doesn't.
not. I'm not. Yes, it does. I'm not saying he's not capable of that, but like that's a lot to
Yeah, but
hold, a lot of weight.
we're looking at the hardware. We gotta judge. We gotta judge with our intelligence. We can't just be saying, "Oh, we can't
And
look
he's
at it.
averaging triple doubles.
We can't.
Man,
We
at the
can't.
center,
We cannot just look at it simply like." we're kind of like tunnel vision. You know what I mean? You're not viewing everything else. You're tunnel visioning on. Oh, if he wins 3 MVPs, he's got more than Shaq. No, yo, Shaq still has more hardware than he does. This is just three to what Shaq has, and that's what I get kind of bothersome. People tunnel vision, like let him win it, man. And it's kind of like that tiresome Kobe and Jordan debate. People see that. Look at he's got people, fans say, "Oh, LeBron's trying." They think LeBron's number one, but he doesn't have defensive player of the year, type trophies and
Yeah,
scoring. But then you got the other excuse. It's kind of like that. I feel like people are focusing on specific things to make the player think that he's better than that, and then you got the no man. Just look at the big picture. I think Embiid deserved it. He willed his team because Harden wasn't gonna do jack. So that's why I looked at. Remember, I told you I wasn't tired of Joker. I just was impressed with who he was, putting on his back. But like I said, that's why we have the MVP for the finals because you got to make it there to earn that special MVP. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. So
yeah, but I agree about saying he's undeserving. That's sorry. I think like he's still the MVP, even though he didn't perform as well as he should have in the playoffs.
right, because the MVP is a regular season. We keep
Yeah,
trying to judge it after, but forget. But yeah, I just want to see your opinion on that, or how you felt about it. But yeah,
Jason Tatum is a real MVP.
we will see. We will see. Today is at 8:30, pretty much in an hour, in a couple minutes. So yeah, we'll be texting you in the group. I'll be hyped. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm just excited for this W tonight.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Uh, Thank you for tuning in. We may not agree on everything, but we all love the game. Hoopers United.